Welcome to Beyond the Mundane with your host, Elsie, Lynn, Leyland, and Randi St. Clair. Right here on Reality Radio 101. To contact the ladies right now, dial 905-725-1907. Toll free in North America, 1-866-905-7325. Worldwide, 1-866-656-5477. Email the ladies right now, realityradio101 at yahoo.com.
Matching towels. Somebody went under a dock, and there they saw a rock. It wasn't a rock. It was a rock lobster.
And now, your hosts of Beyond the Mundane, Elsie, Lynn Leyland, and Randi St. Clair.
Good evening, folks. I'm Elsie Lynn Leyland.
And I'm Randi St. Clair.
And we are the Chakra Jockeys.
Chakra Jockeys.
Oh, wait a minute. Chakra Jockeys. You know what? We have an expert in the studio with us today who can answer that question. Her name is Charlene Bateman. She owns a metaphysical shop in Stouffville, Ontario, called Moonflower's Magical Touch. Charlene, is it chakra or chakra? Pardon?
It is chakra.
Chakra.
Score one for me.
Oh, man. You know, I'm never going to live this down. This is going to get to the point where Randi is just going to ride that horse until I'm dead.
You bet.
So I see you got a nice abalone shell on the desk with us tonight.
Yes, I do. So, Charlene, you going to hang around? We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much. So, like, what is this with all these little trinkets and gadgets? Every week you bring something new. I feel like I should have a bunch of trolls here and some bingo dabbers.
No. Have you never heard of shell power?
Shell power?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Well, I've heard of it, so I decided to bring it this week to see if it fills this room with power.
Power?
Yeah.
Am I going to be able to stay in my seat?
Maybe.
Oh.
Or maybe there's nothing to it. But I thought I'd bring it this week, and every week I'll bring something different.
Yeah, either that or it can be a really great candy dish. We've got some licorice we can put in it.
Yeah. So anyways, it's here for luck for this show.
Luck. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go. You find out that she likes luck products, and I am not superstitious at all. So I find this very amusing and very entertaining.
So what did you do this week?
Oh, my goodness. What didn't I do this week? Basically, it was a lot of back-end business stuff this week.
Back-end business?
Yeah. When you run a business, there's always things going around. You got to talk to people, and you got to, sell advertising and do web development and all that kind of stuff for this business.
So you're busy.
Yeah, it seemed to be.
So
Yeah.
I went out to Ajax to see if I could find the Ajax monkey.
And were you successful?
Well, I went for a nice stroll, and I looked out over the water, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw this movement. And then when I turned my head, it was gone.
Oh.
And I just felt really weird, like there had been this magical presence that was there.
Oh, profound.
So, yeah, I would say that the Ajax monkey was about.
Yeah.
But we made that connection.
And you weren't drinking or anything?
No, I wasn't drinking or anything.
Oh,
So-
that's good. So we can't use the excuse that you were drunk.
So now that I have acknowledged its presence,
Oh.
I feel if I ever go out there again, that maybe I'll see this Ajax monkey for just a bit longer.
Well, that would be nice.
Yeah, you never know.
You going to take a camera with you?
No, I don't think it likes to be photographed. So
What, you making that decision for him?
yeah.
I don't know. He might pose and everything.
Oh, who knows? But
Well, you can put it on your cell phone.
yeah, okay. I'll take my cell phone with me just in case.
Yeah. Cool. So I saw something today that
What?
was absolutely freaking amazing when I was cruising the internet.
What?
I saw this thing called the invisible bike helmet.
How could you see if it's invisible?
Well, it was like a big mystery. They had a video, right? And it was like intriguing right to the very end to explain to you what this bike helmet was all about. It was invented in Sweden by these two women, and they did a lot of fundraising for their the development of their bike helmet, and it's a grand success. and it's a company named Hoovding. H-O with an umlaut, V-D-I-N-G.
Is this for real?
It is absolutely for real, and they sell them in Canada, in Montreal. But you can buy them from Sweden on the internet. They're about $500 US.
Are they in a see-through bag?
I don't know about that, but these things are amazing. So they're like a beautiful, fashionable collar that attaches around your neck. That is like a windproof, waterproof collar, and they zip up in the front, and they have a little snap, so they stay right in the right position on your shoulders and neck. And then there's a little computer in it, and you press the computer, which is called the black box, and it activates it. So if you don't press the button, then when you're walking around with it on, if you slipped and fell, the whole thing wouldn't happen unless you wanted it to. So if you press the little button and you turn the computer on and you get on your bike and you go riding and you happen to get hit by a car or fall or something, the movement that your body would make when it's losing balance and being caught off guard out of its normal position sets off this collar. And this collar poofs out and turns into a giant airbag that goes right over your head.
Right. Okay.
No, listen.
Right.
This is so awesome. It is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Not only that, I can see implications for disabled children and for senior citizens because it's a fashionable collar. It's like there's one's designed for men and one's designed for women, and you could add accessories and all that stuff for it. And if you ever were a type of person that was prone to falling, you had this thing on, so if you fell, you protect your head. And if you had a disabled child that had problems with bashing their head, they would have this on to protect them. And it goes right over your head, and it has a little peak on it, so your forehead and your eyes are protected as well when it comes over. Comes from the back, goes right over your head, and poof, it's there.
It sounds like something we would have seen at the Unplugged 2 convention, really. I mean, really.
But honestly, can you imagine?
No, I can't really.
And I can tell you something. They said that there's a lot of insurance companies covering the replacement cost if you did get in a crash and get possibly could have gotten hurt by it not deploying. So when it deploys and you're safe, your insurance company will probably pay for a new one.
Well, thanks so much for mentioning all of this. It is just so bizarre. So bizarre. So, can I move on to something else?
Fine.
Do you mind? All right.
Yeah, okay.
She has been called the dinner witch, the douche baguette, and the pastitute. Yes, here in Toronto.
The pastitute.
Yes. And it was on the internet, on Toronto Life, this waitress called Erin Witherspoon has allegedly been going out, just choosing men, getting dates on the internet, and just going out with them for a free meal. And she goes to all these posh restaurants she always wanted to go to, and she just, just goes for the meal. And, a lot of times she whines and complains, apparently, that maybe the conversation is not that great, but she gets a free meal out of it. What do you think about that?
And she's not putting out?
No.
Kill her!
At least it doesn't say that.
Holy monkey.
And she has a blog talking about all her travels.
Conquests?
Yeah.
The big question is, everybody wants to know, though, is she hot? Is she hot looking? I mean, was there? Did you see a picture of her?
I saw a picture of her. She doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she says, exploiting men for meals is tough. I have to put up with a lot of bad conversation, she wrote on her blog. I mean, really.
She better watch it because, in all honesty, as you know, you get the wrong guy who goes ballistic thinking something more. He's going to beat the crap out of her. And, of course, that's not great, right? But there's a lot of, mental people out there. And, she's taking a risk.
To be perfectly honest with you, I don't know if she's taking advantage of the men or the men are taking advantage of her. I mean, most of the guys pay an escort for those kind of dinners, and they're not having to pay $500 an hour to take her out.
Yeah, but they get some nice benefits, nice dessert.
No, not always.
Yes, they do.
Not always,
I was
my
in a rock
dear.
band, brother.
You were in a rock band.
I know what goes on.
Yeah, he was in a rock band. He has to know it all.
Yeah, we know it all. Yeah.
So she has a blog that's called A Penniless Girl, Bad Dates and Plenty of Oysters that talks about her culinary adventures. And she has been labeled a serial dater. And it says, among other ruses, she has posed as a practicing Jew in order to date guys on the online dating service known as J-Date. And she said, I'd say my Hebrew is on the rougher side, she writes in her blog.
Oy vey.
And she has over 600 comments on her blog. And one woman says, oh, please, men have been duping women into dates just to get laid forever.
No, but she's not getting laid.
I know, but but this woman is saying guys do it. They take women out for a date and then they just, because they want something extra.
So she's a food junkie.
Yeah.
So she doesn't like penis. If she's not taking it to the next level to get a free ride either. I mean, that's kind of lame.
Well, I guess from the blog it says that she doesn't really care what they look like as long as they pay for the meal.
So she's a food junkie.
Yeah, that's right. So what do you think about that? Just trolling websites and date sites to get guys to take her out to these expensive places and then blogging about it. She thinks that apparently she thinks that, well, if these guys know about it now because it's out in the open and they still take her out, well, fair game.
It'll be interesting if one day she meets the guy, the one for her, and it's on this setup, and he already figured out the premise, and he just walks away. Because, there's two sides to every coin on this. Karma's a bitch. You start going to the point where you want to use people when you have a need, and eventually somebody's going to hit her emotionally, and she'll have a need, and they're just not going to respond. Because for them, it might be just as much as getting out to have a meal in a nice restaurant, too, and they obviously have the money to pay for it. They probably would have gone and done that regardless.
Well, she's got a lot of people that are on her blog and watching for her next adventure, and she talks about all these dates, and personally, I don't find it to be such a great thing, but a lot of people say, hey, fair game. Gender equality and all of that.
Yeah, I guess. I'm kind of dismayed at the whole idea. Not because I'm like I got the heebie-jeebies from it or anything. I'm just thinking, in the end, what is it all worth?
Well, she gets all these free meals, and she gets to go to these places that she would never get to go to.
She mustn't cook. Because I don't know, honestly, if I had the opportunity to go out to a fancy restaurant like all the time, I wouldn't be going. Because sometimes I don't want to go out. I'd rather relax.
Yeah, but that's you. But she's just using these guys, a lot of people are saying, and other people are saying, well,
Well, like maybe if I was going to get the fancy meal and a movie, I might go for it.
Oh, you got to have a movie too, eh?
Oh, man, yeah. Like, I have to have some entertainment along the way. Like, if the guys are boring or shit. And Denny's, did you say?
Yeah, it's only a joke.
And Denny's after?
Yeah, and Denny's. With no pancakes late at night.
No pancakes.
Protein
no.
only.
Yeah, protein for sure.
And some of the guys are writing in on the blog saying, well, all you'd get from me is really expensive cereal or something like that, or, so. But anyways, it's interesting.
The granola king invites you out.
Yeah, for sure.
I just think she's aiming too low.
Aiming too low?
Yeah.
I know where she's aiming, but
no, I
really
think she's aiming too low. If she wants her free food, why isn't she looking for free shoes, free clothing, free car, free movies, free theater tickets, free opera, free ballet?
What's your point, really?
Really, I think the sky's the limit, because there's a lot of guys out there that just don't want to be attached to anybody, but they want to go out too. And that doesn't mean they're going to ask them to put out either, because by the time the ballet's over, they're probably too tired anyway, because they're usually about 80.
Okay, so it's going on all the time then?
I would say it is.
Yeah, okay.
She's just mouthy enough to tell everybody
right,
about it.
Okay.
But I think she's aiming too low. I think she could aim higher.
So if you have something newsworthy that you want us to hear about, please send it in to us, and we'll discuss it on the show. Anything weird and wonderful, send it in, and we'll discuss it also on the show. So now we're going to go to a bit of a commercial and a song, and we'll take it away.
All right, ladies, you're listening to Beyond the Mundane with Elsie, Lynn, Leyland, and Randi St. Clair right here, Reality Radio 101.
Beyond the Mundane Radio is brought to you by Freya Metaphysical, the new permanent psychic booth at the Curtis Flea Market. There are several different and unique psychics every day to choose from. Readings are $20 for 15 minutes. And for all of November, $2 from every reading will go to the Oasis Animal Rescue, a no-kill, no-cage facility in Oshawa. Starting November, Freya is offering a drop-in guided meditation Saturday mornings 9:30 to 10:30 for just $5. November 2nd, they've got Broomstick 101. November 9th is Vibrational Foods for You. November 16th and 23rd, you have a two-part series on paranormal investigation with renowned author Robin Bellamy. And November 30th, learn about Celtic witchcraft. Come on down to Freya Metaphysical, located at the Curtis Flea Market, 1696 Bloor Street in Curtis, Ontario, in Building 1, Units 106 and 107.
Come on down. I hear your feeling.
Welcome back to Beyond the Mundane with your hosts, Elsie, Lynn, Leyland, and Randi St. Clair, right here, Reality Radio 101. And now, back to your hosts, Elsie, Lynn, Leyland, and Randi St. Clair.
Man, I love that song, Comfortably Numb.
Yeah, it's one of those ones I know all the words to.
And I just love sitting there in the dark and just cranking her right up and listening to her, and just like you're going on a magic carpet ride to Never Never Land or Everywhere Land, don't you think?
I don't remember it quite the same way.
It's an awesome song, regardless.
I remember having a lot of dry mouth at the time to listen to that. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Well, welcome back. You're listening to Reality Radio 101, Beyond the Mundane. And next, I would like to talk about how you can contact us today. We have Charlene Bateman in the studio with us today. She's the owner of Moonflower's Magical Touch in Stouffville. And Moonflowers is a metaphysical shop and a yoga studio. So what I invite you to do is either get on the internet or pick up your telephone if you have any questions about metaphysical products or yoga. This is the time to ask them. So you can email us at realityradio101@yahoo.com, or in North America, toll free, you can call 1-866-905-7325. International, you can call 1-866-656-5477. So I hear we got some more stuff today to play everybody from Unplugged 2.
Yeah, that was an awesome convention that we went to, and I hope to go to many, many more because you meet so many interesting people.
That's right. Definitely opens up your eyes and broadens your horizon.
For sure. But it's good to, talk to people with different perspectives and, that are into all these different genres and get to learn a bit more, but to find out just why they're so into it,
And I find, too, that community is extremely intelligent.
Right.
Now, the interview that we've got going on today that we're going to play for you is two very intelligent men.
Right.
Aaron and Pete. And they'll tell you all about themselves, so I'm not going to give too much away. But they're two authors, and they're also amazing artists.
They're geeks, though.
Yeah, they're really geeks, but they are really thought-provoking people.
Not that I'm holding it against them, but they're real geeks.
Yeah, and I am so excited because the last Friday of the month, they're going to come into the studio and talk with us live about their projects. And I was just aghast by these two fellas. The two of them made me look like a little midget, for one.
Well, you are in a way.
Well, you don't have to give it away. I have dreams. I'm dreaming big here on the radio.
All right.
They were in their 20s, and I'm thinking, these guys are talking like they've lived a whole lifetime already. The knowledge base that they had about social structure and the policy of people and the way to treat people was amazing.
So let's get to it.
Okay, so here we go. The next piece is from Unplugged 2. We are still at Unplugged 2, and I'm fortunate to have Aaron and Dave here. These guys are amazing artists, and they also do books. Aaron is the author of Dave's World, and we've got Fearsome Fables here. Now, I'd like you guys to both explain a little bit each about what's going on with each of the books. Can you explain what we've got going on with Fearsome Fables here?
Yeah, for sure. So, Fearsome Fables is this charity comic that a guy named Jay Paulin, who works for a press called Inkwell Comics, he and I had this idea to do a charity anthology. We thought we'd talk to different writers, artists across Canada, get them to donate their stories, put together this really beautiful anthology, and basically donate all the proceeds to a different charity every year. So this was the first like really big issue that we did. We did a small sort of pilot earlier, but Fearsome Fables was our first like big breakthrough. And this one I think we had like 44 different contributors, over 200 pages, and there's some really great stories in here. So actually Aaron did a special story for this one, which takes place kind of in the extended universe of his of Dave's World, in a place called Limbo. And let's see if I can track down the story. But it's one of my favorites just because it had a really interesting sparse art style. Do you remember where it is?
No. I think it's halfway through.
Halfway? And
this is the kind of thing we should do before we go and do really high caliber interviews.
Okay, so while you're flipping through that, why don't you explain Dave's World?
Okay, so Dave's World, just so we're clear, it's Dave's World with a U in the world, is about a little being named Dave who starts in a completely empty world, starts with absolutely nothing, but is sort of vain and materialistic and hoping to find and or create a very shiny object, something very simplistic, like, you know, all he knows is it's round and it's shiny, and goes off to sort of inadvertently create a entire universe of people and places and things, and all of which are completely new and unusual to him, since he's such a clean slate, he's almost like a child. So seeing all these people and experiencing them and interacting with them is completely unusual to him. So when they do things, it's very bizarre to him.
Our audience loves intelligent work, and I think this kind of story comes from a very intelligent place, and the fact that you would do collaborative work, this collaborative kind of stuff, it just speaks to me. It speaks to me that people are starting to talk about what they want, what they believe in, and they want to push it all together and are motivated. And in this day and age, to be motivated to do something and to gear up and be ready to do something and produce is, to me, the sort of the big shining star of people. Because this new age, for people, you're going to have to think outside the box. And you guys are both thinking outside the box, and I think you're perfect for our radio listening audience. Okay, so now talk to me about this.
Yeah, so this is Aaron's story from Fearsome Fables. It's called Life in Limbo. It covers a character called Tom Ugly, who's, again, part of this kind of extended universe that's attached to Dave's World. Well, I'll let you speak to the storyline, and maybe you can tell them a little bit about the story that you have coming in the next anthology, which is launching November 8th in Halifax. We'll be launching Fearsome Fables 2, and the story kind of goes on.
Okay. So Life in Limbo is a story I'm sort of ongoing trying to craft and create, which is the world outside of Dave's World. And when I say outside, I mean it encompasses Dave's World as well as hundreds of thousands of other worlds. It's almost the lie and the secret is that it's known as the universe, is this giant body of planets, of worlds, of different people and places. But it is in itself a world, and it's a very dark place, a very sort of decrepit, creepy world where people go after they stop existing. So that's hence limbo is the place of non-existence. So people go there and they sort of get ground into the machinations of limbo, and their life force, their souls, I've been calling it pyre, which I think is a pretty good word for it, is the fire within them gets sort of drained and burnt to ash and becomes part of limbo. And so it's a very dark place. And the charity comic, or the comic I did for Fearsome Fables, tells the story of Tom Ugly, who sort of wanders limbo and tries to survive the horrors, the horrible creatures who have become like dark, wandering souls of limbo. And the first story is him trying to sort of like just sort of keep his senses together and try and like find trust in someone for once. And the new story I've been doing, or this chapter 2 or whatever, the second part for Fearsome Fables 2 is it's more like him trying to survive the physical dangers of limbo and all of the sort of things that come along with that. So yeah.
One of the neat things is when so Jay, my co-editor, when he and I are looking at how we're going to pace the stories, how we're going to choose what material to put where, how do you create a good story across the different short stories. Because you can see there's so many different art styles, so many different writing styles in this book. What we do is we have like a ranking system for how scary a story is, or how intense it is. Because this is actually, it's meant to be like a children's horror anthology. So not like terrifying, but like Goosebumps kind of scary, or else dying kind of scary. Something, or
everything that you guys grew up with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like actually, Jabberwocky for me is like a great example of like something that kids can enjoy, that adults can enjoy, that there's a lot happening in. That's definitely like a horror piece, but isn't something that's gonna make it too afraid to read it.
Yeah, that dark, dank place.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I always loved Are You Afraid of the Dark? Was always my go-to horror thing.
But Aaron's horror, the way that he contributed to this anthology was really different, because most people have like stories about werewolves or zombies and spooky things, and these stories are so great because they're so classic, they're the only things people know. Aaron's was a little different because the intensity of his story wasn't like horror, it wasn't like a bloody knife or a skeleton that pops out and says boo. The horror was kind of a slow, creeping darkness that just broods inside the story, and that was neat because it got it's something a little bit deeper to engage with in terms of like kids reading horror.
It was. It's that sort of the intelligent reflection of human nature.
Yeah.
So, do you have something that you could do to plug yourselves? I want to.
Well, I just want to add. Peter is in this anthology as well, and he honestly did one of my favorite pieces in it.
He doesn't even plug himself.
All right,
Come on, Peter. I want to see what you've done.
Do you mind if I do you? Because I feel like you've been helping me out.
For sure.
So he did a poem, kind of creepy thing about the building of the railroads and the sort of the lost souls that sort of got the people who died during the sort of murderous campaign of the building of the rainbow, and it's drawn by Susie. I forget her. Susie Shore, who's a fantastic artist, and it's a labor of love and a total craft of. It's honestly the best poem I think I've read in the last 10 years of my life.
So you've taken historical information and turned it into something people will read and absorb.
Yeah, well, what I was really inspired by was the Cremation of Sam McGee. So the Robert Service poem, which is just kind of dark but also fascinating and in weird ways inspiring. So rather than going the route where there's a bit like this Cremation of Sam McGee is very humorous at the end. Like it's very dark at first, but it has a bit of a bump up at the end. I wanted to keep it dark because the building of the railroad was something where there was so much horror and loss and so many people killed that I didn't want to sort of disrespect that.
Amazing.
But I was so happy that I managed to get Susie as an artist for it, because she did everything in watercolor. She sent me just the rough sketches, like the rough layouts of the pages, and I thought it was the finished ones. Her level of detail, her ability to bring a scene to life, just phenomenal. And so it was a weird mixture of poetry and comics. But I think it ended up working out really well, just because she really nailed the illustrations.
Wow. So you guys are going to come on our show the last Friday of November. And this is amazing. The reason I think this is amazing is because these prove to me that our future is not lost. These fellows prove to me our future is not lost. The intelligence behind what they're doing and the message that they got out, they will get out to the next guy, the guy that's the politician, the developer. You will be creating the next generation because they're going to read your stuff.
Right. That's always the hope.
Yeah.
It was really generous of you to
say.
So,
where can we see your stuff online?
Well, I'll do him. He can do me. He does Rock Paper Cynic, a pop culture comic. It's one of the few that actually makes me laugh out loud, which you can check out online. Turtles, video games.
We're going to link them on our Facebook page.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff, and you can do me if you want.
Okay.
And I do a finished series, actually. Dave's World is finished, and I'm starting Matthew's World, which I'm very excited about. And I hope to do a lot of more worlds.
And do you have a website for Dave's World?
Yeah, davesworld.com.
davesworld.com.
Yeah,
okay, so we're going to put both of those on our Facebook page. I think our listeners are going to be all linking up to you, so I hope you get lots of new clicks.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
And thank you much. It was amazing, guys, and I can't wait till the end of the month.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Be sure to follow up on the show and check it out.
Yeah.
I'd love to do some advertising as well.
Oh, I like that word. Advertising is a good word.
Oh, they told me the prices and it sounds really good. Nice.
Alrighty. Thank you for your time. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Thanks so much.
Thanks for coming in.
There you go, ladies.
Wow, that was exciting. That was the first time I heard one of the long ones.
Very, very interesting.
So these guys will be on at the end of the month, and they've told you all about themselves. So now I'm going to have some interesting questions to ask them about the launch in Halifax, because that's this week.
So let's get to our guest. I want to find out
Yeah, I'm
about all this
excited.
stuff.
So we have Charlene Bateman here. She's the owner of Moonflower's Magical Touch at 6248 Main Street in Stouffville, Ontario. You can reach her on the telephone there during business hours at 647-296-0331. Her website is www.moonflowersmagicaltouch, just as it's spelled as it sound, .com. moonflowersmagicaltouch.com. So, it's a metaphysical shop. What do you specialize in?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
And what is everything that's metaphysical?
Well, we have fairies, angels, Buddhas.
Oh, not fairies, please.
She has
Yes,
an
fairies.
issue with fairies.
Oh, really?
Okay, go on, please.
Angels, Buddhas, gods and goddesses. And
Are these people that come to your store, or these are little figurines you have in your store?
both.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
So if a person walks into your store, do they hit this cloud of incense that follows them, and then when they leave, everybody knows they've been in your store, or what's the story?
There's a scent. I don't think it's coming from the incense. We don't burn any incense.
Okay.
I think it's coming more from the candles, the soy candles, and the soaps.
What kind of soap?
It's natural soap made in Wabashine, Ontario. You can use them on your hair, your face, your body. They're great for the lakes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're really nice.
So they're safe for the environment.
Totally.
Do they float?
They
I asked a
float.
question. Yeah,
Oh, if we go in the lake, yeah.
yeah, that's why I'm thinking, because I go in the lake a lot, and I'm always looking for a soap that floats.
I don't think it would float.
Okay, so that means I have to find a mini dinghy for my soap.
Yeah, and it doesn't. It
Whatever.
doesn't lather. It's not a
Well,
lathering.
because it's
it doesn't
not
have
really soap, right?
right,
If it's
yeah.
all natural.
Yeah, it's nice.
Cool. What are the unique items we can find there?
A lot of crystals.
Oh,
We
crystals.
have one of the largest selections in all of Ontario and Quebec for tumbled stones.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Why does a person go to a metaphysical store? What are they looking for?
They're usually looking for help for themselves, self-help. They're trying to figure out. A lot of people come in and ask for a special crystal for anxiety or panic or to help find a job.
A crystal can help them find a job?
Yes, it can give them self-confidence.
Wow. So when you've made this giant collection of crystals for your shop, you've had this, you've laid it all out, and you then have the potential customer coming in. Does that mean that you've taken the time to learn about all the crystals as well?
To be honest, no, there's too many.
That many?
There's that many.
Hundreds you're talking about?
There's probably over 300
300
tumbled stones. that are
different tumble stones.
Yeah.
Holy monkey.
So I teach people how to use their own intuition,
Wow.
how to pick out a crystal.
What does that mean?
It means when they come into the store, and if they have a list, I usually say, let's try something different. Or if they don't have a list and they ask me to pick out a stone, I have them come up to the behind the cash where they can see all the stones and do some deep breathing with their eyes closed, and just to focus on themselves and just to ask, what is the best crystal that I need right now? And then they open their eyes and they go to the one that they're attracted to, and they're blown away by when they hold it, they feel the energy, and then they read about it. They don't read about it until after they've touched it, picked it up.
Oh, cool. Do you ever get any crystal returns?
No. No, we haven't.
Oh my goodness.
Now, you offer classes there too, right?
We do.
What kinds?
We offer Reiki, level 1, 2, and Masters. We offer yoga. We are going to be offering Tarot 101. We also have lots of other workshops. We have chakra workshops coming up.
Do you hear
Oh,
that?
really?
Chakra.
Yes, I know. Now I have to change my whole scheme.
There's something about aromatherapy or something. What's that about?
That one is with chakra oils. What's oils that you can actually use for more than just your chakras. They're all natural, and you can drink them, use them sublingually. They're the
Really?
yeah.
So sublingually, under the
Under
tongue.
the tongue.
Under the tongue.
Under the tongue, yeah.
Ooh.
There's peers you can get. And
I got some stuff I can put under my tongue, but I don't know if
Yeah,
I
we
could
won't go
do
there.
it.
So are they like drinking it like a potion or something and saying some fancy magical words, or like how's it work?
No, this is to balance your chakras, or say you want to speed up your metabolism. There's certain ones to do that. And you just put a couple drops in your water. You can drink it, or you can put a couple drops under your tongue.
Could you give me an example of what I might put under my tongue to speed up my metabolism?
I can't, but if you come to the workshop, you can find out more information.
Okay, so let me see. I've written all this stuff down, so let me see. I might be able to. Chakra Balancing Workshop with doTERRA oils, Sunday, November 24th, 4 to 6 p.m. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And it's $10?
$10. That's
$10.
all. Yep. And we
Holy
get to
man.
test the oils on each other.
That's cheaper than McDonald's.
I don't know.
I'm really interested in that, actually. Really.
Yeah, we just we tested out on one of our employees that help us out there, and she had an hour and a half treatment of aligning her chakras. And today is day 2, and she's still feeling it. She just felt wonderful.
Oh, I might want to do that one.
What's the weirdest product that you might say that you have in your shop? The weirdest one.
Hairy man.
Hairy men? What's wrong with hairy men?
Hairy men.
I'm quite partial to hairy men. I don't know what people like to say they can't have any hair, but I mean, really.
Explain.
They're island men. I guess they're the most unique because a lot of people don't like them. So we have them. They're $10, and I'm trying to sell them for $2 right now because they're scaring everybody.
Island men.
This is like a doll?
It's a wooden statue that some people, when they look at it, they think it's voodoo, which it's not. It's something you would find on the islands.
Oh, here I thought you were talking about men that were coming into the shop.
So like those ironwood men.
Yeah, and then they have like
beautifully
hair
carved.
Beautifully, and they're some on skateboards, some doing a yoga position, some playing on a computer, talking on a phone.
Oh, like so for your desk at work and stuff.
Yeah.
Or a Christmas gift, maybe.
Christmas shopping.
Yeah,
a
okay.
$2 Christmas gift.
Yep, regular $10.
Gifty switch, gift exchange, Secret Santa, here we come. So now you know where to go to get your $2 present that everybody thinks was $15.
And for one of your friends, you can give her a hairy man, you know?
Yeah,
what
and
every
you can
woman
say
wants.
just what you wanted. Oh, absolutely. I know what the executive producer is getting for Christmas. A hairy man. So, I saw something really interesting on here. On December 14th, your shop is having what's called Crystal Journey with David Hickey. And it's at 7 p.m. and it's $25 a person. Now, I've heard rumors that this guy is like the bee's knees to be in the room with and to have this experience with. Can you explain the Crystal Journey experience?
I can, and just to, I put the wrong date on there. It's actually Saturday, December the 7th.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's my fault.
December the 7th.
Yes.
So the Crystal Journey, what is it?
It is, it's hard to say in words, but I'll try to say it. It's like a wow. It's amazing. You come into the room, you lay down on a yoga mat for 45 minutes. He plays the gongs. He plays his singing bowls, and he actually has started to use his voice now in singing as well. So you meditate, you lay down and meditate, and it's a sound journey healing, and it's just absolutely the most beautiful thing. Every time he comes, every time I go to see him in a show, it's always different. It always just, he plays for that energy of the room and plays for the energy of the universe.
So you'd get like your chakras vibrating or getting in alignment or something like that?
Everything vibrates, everything aligns. It's the healing for 3 days after. You're just buzzing.
Now, I've been told by people that have been to this workshop at your shop before that the acoustics in your yoga studio are so fine that this sound resonates right to their soul.
It does. I mean, even David, this is his 4th time coming back this year to our studio. The first time he played in our studio this year, he said, I need to come back. I'm going to come back in October. And he called me in 2 weeks, and he says, I need to come back in a month.
Wow.
It was just...
So
he loves it.
The crystal journey with David Hickey sells out really fast. And this is an experience you really need to have. So now it's December the 7th. And we really need you to think about making your time to go there.
So do you have any circles or magic things happening at your place?
We don't right now. We just had Samhain, a ritual for Samhain.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we are going to have one for Yule as well.
Oh, wow. And when is the Yule one going to be?
That is actually on the 21st of December.
On the 21st?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right on the Yule
Right on
celebration
Yule.
night.
Yep.
The longest night of the year.
Yes.
Ooh.
We're going to have a celebration, little some munchies, some food, and have a ritual and just get together and celebrate.
Now, I was really fortunate to be present at your Samhain ritual, and you and your husband did something quite interesting. Could you explain to the audience what you did?
We had a hand fasting after our ritual.
And what is a hand fasting?
We renewed our vows to the universe, to the gods, and to ourselves. So when you get married in the traditional way, you kind of get married, and that's about it, and you celebrate your anniversary. But our way is like, we like to celebrate every year and a day, or sometimes it's every year and a few months. Celebrate and renew our vows and renew that love that we have. It's always there, but it's always nice to take that time and just look at each other and say vows. And each time we do it, it's a different vow that we say.
That sounds really nice.
So do you tie your hands with cords and say, we'll be together as long as it's good, but when it's not good, then we'll move on? Is that how it works?
Kind of, pretty much, but I mean, not really either. It's like, in a year and a day, you're supposed to come back and you say, would you like to do this again? And back in the days, you would either say yes or no, and you would do it. You would either, end the relationship, that marriage, tied, or you would say yes and renew your vows.
So it's kind of like a sacred thing or something.
It is.
Do you jump over a broomstick or jump over a fire or dance around the fire, or what else happens there?
We jumped over a broom on the way out when we ended the circle. We couldn't jump over any fires because it was inside. But if it was outside, it'd be nice to have a fire outside.
So do people actually jump over the fire?
Depends on how big the fire is. You can.
Cool.
Wow.
You didn't have to do it naked, did you?
No.
Oh, good.
Now that
Not
would be
until
cool.
later.
That would be cool to go and experience something like that.
Yeah, but
people dancing around the fire.
My
or something.
problem is if I do that, I might step on something that I don't want to step on. Things hang a little low these days.
All right. Thanks. TMI. Thank you for that. That's kind of a visual that I just don't want to have. Thank you very much.
Well, you were the one that wanted to picture us naked.
Yeah, no, I said it would be fun to dance around the fire. You added the naked part.
We might have some special oil for that.
Oh, really?
To help you out, yeah.
To help me out? Will it make me taller?
Maybe. No, the yoga will do that.
Yoga will make me taller.
Absolutely.
Honestly?
Absolutely.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
It would make me taller.
Yes, because
I am in.
You're stretching. You're opening up your muscles, your joints.
What part of yoga does that? Downward facing dog or whatever that is?
All of it. Even just leg stretches. I can do some leg stretches with you. And when you put your one leg down, you're going to feel how long.
Yeah, I'm going to feel it after the leg stretch. That's for sure.
So this weekend you've got something going on called Inner Outer Beauty Works on November 10th, 10:30 to 12:30. And
that's the Tibetan
this
rites.
looks
Yes.
really interesting to me. 3 Tibetan health secrets known to bring attention to alignment to the body, calm the mind, slow down aging, and 5 Tibetan rites. It's $40. It seems like it has some yoga with it as well, right?
It's all yoga. It's
all yoga.
It's all yoga. It's the 5 Tibetan rites. So you go through these exercises that you can do every morning, and it gets your body up and going. And we have a live drummer there as well.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And how long does that? That's
It's 2 hours.
2 hours. 2 hours of yoga?
Yes.
Like, does somebody have to do all the stuff? Like, if they're a novice, can they like sit
yes.
and watch?
You can always sit.
Oh, okay. You won't feel like a fool?
No, absolutely not. Not in our studio, anyways. Whatever
Okay.
happens on your mat, we call it the island, it happens. You know, if you need to lay down or
good.
go into child's pose.
Okay, I can handle that with my thumb in my mouth and everything.
Absolutely.
Okay, all
We'll give you a
right.
blanket, too.
Okay, I'm there.
What's this hot yoga, anyways?
I don't know. I don't do hot
You
yoga.
don't do hot yoga?
No,
Okay.
we do warm yoga.
Warm yoga.
Yeah, so we keep it at 24 degrees, so especially in the winter time. So when you come in, it's comfortable. It's not too hot. We work on heating you up from the core so you don't hurt yourself.
So you do it with breathing and stretching.
Breathing and stretching.
Cool. Now, you got something else going on here called Girls Weekend, and that's the 16th, the 15th, 16th, and 17th.
Yes.
So on the 15th, you got yoga for $5, 10 till 5, and then the 16th, you got yoga for $5, 9 till 10:15. 17th, yoga from 9 to 10:15 for $5. And then you got these other things happening. On the 16th, you've got 11:30 to 1:30. Simple Technique to Weight Loss Forever by Jen Pike, who's the author of the Simplicity Project. So that's all nutrition stuff, right?
It is.
That's kind of cool. That has me intrigued. And I find it really interesting because she's very mysterious. And then you've also got tarot card readings on Saturday and Sunday, the 16th and 17th, from 10 to 5 on Saturday and 10 to 4 on Sunday. And they're $20.
They are.
So you said here that you want reservations for those tarot card readings.
We do, because we're booking it really fast.
Okay. So if you want to go to Moonflowers on the 16th or 17th and have tarot card readings, you need to phone them at 647-296-0331 and make sure that you do that. And I noticed that on the 17th, you got a girl that's willing to wrap any crystals they pick for $5, which I think is cool too.
Yeah, they can come in and any crystal that they choose, then she will wrap it for $5.
Cool. Can you explain to me the different styles of yoga? I'm really, really novice about understanding it. Like, I know that there's one that you sort of just sit there and meditate, and then there's one where you do stretching, and then there's one that you work up your cardio really high.
Right.
Can you explain those? Because I really don't know anything about them.
Okay. Well, restorative is where you're just pretty much laying down on bolsters and stretching and holding postures for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes is good. It takes the body about 2 minutes in a pose for it to start relaxing. So that's restorative. In hatha, so all yoga you can call it hatha, and you can do different things. So it can be a gentle, a light. There's vinyasa, which is more of a flow. You're doing more downward dog to plank to chaturangas, back to downward dog, and you do those quite a bit.
Any one of them will get you in shape, obviously.
Absolutely.
And
Even the restorative.
And it's kind of a spiritual thing, so you'll connect to whatever.
Some people look at it spiritual, some people don't. Some people look at it just to get in there and get the power. In our studio, because it is attached to the store, it is spiritual. So it's your time to relax and connect to yourself and whoever your higher power is.
That's amazing.
Well, this has been quite informative, hasn't it?
Very informative. I'm really interested in the fact that you have so many crystals. So I think if you're in the mood for crystals and you're always looking, you should take a little journey out to Moonflower's Magical Touch, 6248 Main Street in Stouffville. And it's moonflowersmagicaltouch.com. Stouffville itself is a beautiful place. On the weekend, there's tons to do there on Main Street. And I know it's right next to the library community center, so there's lots of parking. And you'll have a great time.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
This has been a great show. We're going to finish up with a little commercial and one of my favorite songs, Time Warp, by the Rocky Horror, that's in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Randi St. Clair saying thanks for listening.
Goodbye from Elsie Lynn Leyland.
Beyond the Mundane Radio is brought to you by Motivated Motion, located at the Curtis Flea Market. Motivated Motion carries Lynn Tucker's handmade silver and copper wire wrap jewelry, as well as her unique felt creations. They also carry a wide range of charms, jewelry, ritual altar supplies, crystals, gems, Himalayan salt lamps, incense, books, gifts, and much, much more. Mention Beyond the Mundane Radio and we pay the HST. Come on down to the Curtis Flea Market, booth 108, located at 1696 Brewer Street in Curtis, Ontario. Open every Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
It's astounding. Time is fleeting. Madness takes its toll. But listen closely.
Not for very much longer.
I've got to keep control. I remember doing the time warp, drinking those moments when the blackness would hit me and the void would be calling. Let's do the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again.
It's just a jump to the left.
And then a step to the right.
With your hands on your hips.
You bring your knees in right. Let it the pelvic down. And really down you really say, let's do the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again. It's so dreamy. Oh, fantasy free me. So you can't see me. No, not at all. In another dimension, with voyeuristic intention, well secluded, I see all.
With a bit of a mind flip.
You're into the time slip.
And nothing can ever be the same.
You're spaced out on sensation, like you're under sedation. Let's do the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again.
Well, I was walking down the street just to have what I seen when a singular guy gave me an evil wing. He shook up me up, he took me by surprise. He had a pickaxe track and a devil's eyes. He stared at me and I felt ashamed. Time is nothing, never what I gained.
Let's do the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again.
It's just a jump to the left.
And then a step to the right.
With your hands on your hips.
You bring your knees in right. Let it the pelvic touch. And really down you and say, let's do the time warp again. Let's do the
You've been listening to Beyond the Mundane with Elsie Lynn Leyland and Randi Sinclair. Now get ready for the best rock and pop music of all time on Reality Radio 101.